we've talked a lot about kind of curves and things like that. What about regions? Yeah, we talked a lot about curves. What are regions? How could you describe a region in an Argand diagram? Because these are still just kind of like curves that we've been dealing with, right? Right, okay, so what if let's introduce an inequality, as Matt's suggestions. What if I want something like this? Again, we can sketch the following. I want all the points that satisfy this. All the complex numbers which have a real component of 1, any values between 1 and 3. What would that look like? I want a region which has its real values between the values of 1 and 3 inclusive. What would that look like? How do we describe, what kind of shape are we creating?
1 and 3.
Yeah.
A rectangle?
Like a rectangle. A rectangle, an endless rectangle that goes infinitely up, infinitely down. All we're thinking about, all we care about is what's a real value of 1 look like? Any point along this is going to have a real value of 1. Any point along here is going to have a real value of 3. And any of them in between are also going to meet this locus over here. Endless rectangle. And of course we can do this for imaginary parts as well, right? What about this? Why is this one different? We talked about real values. We could apply the same to imaginary values, but this one's kind of interesting. We're looking at arguments now. What's a region going to look like if I want all of the ones that satisfy, that have an argument between 0 and pi on 4? What do you think? Like a pizza slice, you reckon?
Yeah.
Like what would the slice look like? What am I taking? Between this little sliver here. So let's take an argument of 0, which is along the real axis, right? And argument of pi and 4, which is probably kind of like that. I mean, it's probably a bit too big, isn't it? Yeah. That's right. We'll mark like this. There we go. Yeah. And here's our region. Do we like that?
You like it?
Yeah.
Are we
meant to like it?
I feel like
No.
It's wrong.
yeah, no. Wait, maybe he's doing that just to like trick us.
Maybe I've just reversed psychology.
I mean, technically all those in there are those arguments.
I'll give you a hint. There is actually one point which doesn't satisfy, that I've shaded in, that doesn't actually satisfy this. So we need arguments between 0 and pi and 4. Yeah? And so anything, yeah? 0. What was wrong with 0? Right, remember, what is an argument defined as? It's defined as creating an angle from the origin, right? So any points along here, right, we can create a particular angle. Yeah, so, but the point 0, because we're measuring the angle from there, you can't really have an argument. So remember, the argument of 0 is actually undefined. The arg of 0, undefined. And so it's very important that you, in fact, do create a little hole at that point, because that point does not have an argument at all. It's undefined.